This is Dr. Wells with Wells Medicine, and I wanted to talk about the difference between insurance coverage and FDA approval. So a lot of patients conflate FDA approval and insurance coverage. And what I mean by that is they assume that if a medication has an FDA approval, if it's been cleared by the Food and Drug Administration, that it will then be covered by insurance. But those two things are actually very separate. So FDA approval means that a medication has been found to be safe and effective for a specific indication, and insurance coverage means that a private company has decided that they will pay for that medication. So two very different things. And you can see that, for example, in some medications that have gotten FDA approval, but like ketamine, are not being covered by insurance. So for example, if you have ADHD, you may be prescribed a medication like Concerta, which is a brand name methylphenidate derivative, by your doctor for ADHD. Now, Concerta has an FDA approval for ADHD, but your insurance company may say that it's not on formulary, which means it's not on the list of medications that they have approved to pay for ADHD. Or they may say that only the generic is approved, or they may say that the medication or the illness is experimental, and that they're not covering that illness or that indication for the medication. So, for example, United Healthcare may approve your ADHD diagnosis, but they may not cover Concerta for that diagnosis. A lot of my patients have chronic Lyme disease, which is not a covered condition by a lot of insurance carriers. They don't consider it a condition that they recognize or that they approve of. So they won't approve of therapies to treat chronic Lyme disease. So for a lot of reasons, a medication can be covered or not covered by insurance, but yet still an FDA approved indication. Up to 20% of all medications are given off label, and some of them are covered by insurance. So for example, if you've taken Zofran, which is a very common anti-nausea medication for motion sickness or for diarrhea, those weren't approved indications. Zofran was FDA indicated and received approval for chemotherapy-induced nausea. So the insurance company may cover it, but that's their choice to decide to cover it. So we always encourage our patients to try to discuss with their insurance companies coverage of ketamine, and I'll have another video on more ways and methods to discuss that. But FDA approval and insurance coverage are two very separate things.